Hello Dominica, I'm Vanessa Bruno with the Kairi TV News. Let's take a look at the big stories making the headlines. The Discover Dominica Authority projects a stronger growth in 2023 following increase in tourism arrival numbers for 2022. Residents of the Southeast get a further reassurance on relocation efforts. And the traditional Old Mass Festival kicks off in a different format this Saturday. Stay tuned for details of these stories and more right after the break.
Are you looking for that perfect setup for your conference, seminar, or company function? Or maybe you need a low-budget setup for your party, dinner, or private gathering? How about that professional production for your grand concert, festival, or outdoor event? Kairi Sounds is here to provide you with everything you need. PA system, stage, lighting, microphones, tents, LED digital screens, generators, projectors, crowd barriers, and more. We also offer free event consultation to ensure the success of your special event. Call us today at 612-4050. Kairi Sounds, your partner in sound, stage, and lighting services.
Welcome back. Leading the news. The Discover Dominica Authority is reporting an increase in tourism arrival numbers for the year 2022 and projects even stronger growth for 2023. Here's Linda Martin with that story.
Destination Marketing Manager and Acting CEO of the DDA, Kimberly King, says this increase in arrivals is the result of a number of key factors, including relaxed COVID protocols and the island's first direct flight from the U.S.
With this positive uptick in numbers, that can definitely be attributed to the excellent work on the ground by Discover Dominica Authority, Dominica Festivals Committee, and the Ministry of Tourism. It means that also that with the relaxed protocols that would have happened in 2022, the work of the source market representatives and on-the-ground stakeholder relations would have all contributed to us surpassing our target in 2022. We are more than elated, and it means that there's just some more work to be done to be able to see that consistency in 2023.
According to the DDA, Dominica welcomed 60,704 visitors in 2022 compared to 14,888 in 2021, an increase of more than 308%.
In 2022, Dominica surpassed its arrival targets, where the Nature Island saw an arrivals of 60,704 arrivals in 2022. That meant a 308% increase over 2021's arrival. For us, that also meant that we would have accomplished 70% of our 2019 arrivals, which is excellent. It means it has some work to be done in terms of Dominica and getting there back to our pre-pandemic numbers, but still an excellent accomplishment. It also meant that we would have also surpassed our 2022 target of just over 50,000 arrivals. We also saw in 2022 that October was the highest as it pertains to arrivals to the island, and that can be attributed to the excellent work of the World Creole Music Festival, followed by December arrivals.
The DDA also expects an influx of tourists for the 2023 Carnival season. Linda Martin for Kairi TV News.
In other top stories, Open Solutions, in collaboration with the Youth Emergency Action Committee, will engage in a mapping exercise in the city of Roseau. Nathaniel Durand has the details.
The project is part of the Open Data for Resilience and Risk Management Initiative, Open Cities Latin America and the Caribbean, enhancing mapping for resilience building in Dominica. This exercise will be carried out on Saturday, January 21st, 2023, as part of the Open Cities project. Chief Executive Officer of Open Solutions, implementing partner for the Open Cities project in Dominica, Peter Ricketts, says the information gathered will help build a database to advise in disaster risk management processes in the country.
Therefore, what will be happening this Saturday when we go to the field are two activities. They will be doing what we call ground truthing, whereby they will now start adding the additional attributes to those polygons that were drawn up, and then we will be asking interviews. So part of the telling the story is finding out, well, what events, historical events, has happened. So going to the households and interviewing the residents, finding out how long have you lived here? Do you recall any past events? And not just Hurricane Maria, not just Tropical Storm Erica, but what other events have affected your community and what sorts of damage were there? There will be no sensitive or private information being shared. All the questions that will be asked will be around disaster risk. So that's what will be happening this Saturday.
Mr. Ricketts says at the end of this exercise, the information collated will be published as a story, which can inform communities around the island on issues surrounding vulnerabilities in the event of disasters.
The project that we are executing, we were given the, ability to select a problem statement, right? So what did we want to do? But the true objective of the project is to seed this community of mappers. And the idea is that this community will take up continuous mapping. Mapping never ends. And so the goal, as Mr. Carrot mentioned earlier, would be to map all of Dominica. But agencies such as CREED would now be able to identify what are these communities are priority.
Meantime, Resilience Planning and Development Consultant with CREED, Samuel Carrett, says the agency has carried out an exercise through which they were able to categorize the 41 communities on the island based on their vulnerabilities in order to help build their disaster management capabilities.
41 communities based on the level of vulnerability. So we do have the most vulnerable communities in Dominica, the more vulnerable communities in Dominica, the vulnerable communities in Dominica, and the least vulnerable communities in Dominica. So we do have that categorization, we have that data. And these are the communities that we are focusing on to ensure that they do have functioning disaster management committees. Vulnerability assessments are done for those communities, and then we also have a disaster management plan for these communities, and people are properly informed. And the leadership of the community is the leadership is properly trained.
Dodan and Kulibistri are next on the list for data collection. Following this phase of data collection, case studies will be developed and the final product presented to the public. Nathaniel Durand for Kairi TV News.
In other developments, residents of the southeast received further reassurance that government is working assiduously to relocate those in vulnerable areas. The comments came from Minister for Education and Member of Parliament for the Castle Bruce constituency, Octavia Alfred, during a site visit to St. John's Hill, a possible relocation site.
What we're going to do is to still keep the community together, and so we are happy that this will reactivate the hope, if anybody had lost hope, that we will not say anything, because people, election pass, Christmas pass, New Year start, that now they will know that you do not want to rush to decisions. Some things is a process, and the process is on, and we just ask the people from Petit Soufriere, as we continue to keep them safe, to know that they are our priority.
Alfred reminded residents that there are several factors to consider in the relocation of whole communities, and that this will play into how government moves forward with the resettlement project.
It means that the housing issue in this constituency, the dynamics has changed. Because now there are some people with incomplete homes in Petit Soufriere. Question is, are we going to complete the homes, or are we going to relocate them? And there were some people there are a lot of other issues to consider. People who were qualified under the Housing Recovery Program sponsored in connection with the World Bank, who had received what they call it, that you make the criteria. They may be waiting now. The question is, if you are approved under World Bank, what happens to you now? So a lot of people are asking a lot of questions, and I'm sure now we can start to give them some answers. We might not have all the answers for the constituents, but we can tell them that The process is ongoing. We are on the ball and trust the process, because when the government says something, we do it, but some things take a lot of planning.
The decision to relocate residents of some southeastern communities came following the devastation caused by a trough system on November 6th last year. This is the Kairi TV News. Stay tuned for more after this break.
Are you looking for that perfect setup for your conference, seminar, or company function? Or maybe you need a low-budget setup for your party, dinner, or private gathering? How about that professional production for your grand concert, festival, or outdoor event? Kairi Sounds is here to provide you with everything you need: PA system, stage, lighting, microphones, tents, LED digital screens, generators, projectors, crowd barriers, and more. We also offer free event consultation to ensure the success of your special event. Call us today at 612-4050. Kairi Sounds, your partner in sound, stage, and lighting services.
Welcome back. The Old Mass Festival is less than 24 hours away as Carnival returns to the street this year under the theme Mass Alawi. Acting Chief Cultural Officer Elson Matthews says this year's Old Mass will take on the Juve spirit as it takes place in the early hours of Saturday, January 21st in Point Michel, and will showcase the best of Dominica's cultural carnival traditions.
Old Mass is a showcase of the traditional aspects of our carnival. So expect steel pan, lapo, sensei, stilt walkers, band movie, black devils, Kalinago tet mass, shate mass, suswell sui, Papi Show Wedding, Big Bottom Ladies. Even the first Serenade Band is putting together a Lapo Cabwit group to represent the community on that day. Darkies. The reason for the Juve approach to Old Mass this year is that these traditions were popularized during that time, but now they struggle as they compete with electronic bands. The intention is to give them their own time and space. And hopefully this resurgence will eventually see increased participation on the actual Juve morning.
Matthew noted several factors are at play to ensure this event is a success.
Just from our site visits, the community is ready and willing to assist in making Old Mass 2023 great. The Village Council, the Development Committee, even the police are reaching out to us to lend their support and to tell us what will enhance the experience from their perspective. We're also receiving positive feedback from the surrounding communities and all over the island. The general consensus being, I'm not missing that. So I want to encourage the few of you who don't know about the event or have never experienced traditional carnival in Dominica to come down to Point Michel on the morning of Saturday, January 21st. We're starting on the Pori playing field in Point Michel, going down to Sibuli, and then on the Lapward Boulevard all the way to Hollywood where we'll end.
The Old Mass Festival is expected to run from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. And the Portsmouth Carnival Committee is bringing Jump Up back to the streets of Portsmouth. This with the return of the Portsmouth Carnival Parade, which will be held on Sunday. President of the Northern Entertainment Committee, Bertilia Bartley Peters, says the parade will feature several local bands and carnival groups to create a festive carnival experience.
The groups will leave from NBD, will make a circuit around the town, and then Signal is with us all the way. We have groups from the north, the Marigot Flag Wavers, NBD Flag Wavers, Africulture Still Walkers have confirmed with us. We still have some groups awaiting for confirmation so that we can have an active opening, and hopefully we'll see you all there.
The parade is scheduled to get underway at 2 p.m. and entertainment will be provided by the Signal Band. You're watching the Kairi TV News. Stay tuned for a recap of the headlines right after this.
Are you looking for that perfect setup for your conference, seminar, or company function? Or maybe you need a low-budget setup for your party, dinner, or private gathering? How about that professional production for your grand concert, festival, or outdoor event? Kairi Sounds is here to provide you with everything you need: PA system, stage, lighting, microphones, tents, LED digital screens, generators, projectors, crowd barriers, and more. We also offer free event consultation to ensure the success of your special event. Call us today at 612-4050. Kairi Sounds, your partner in sound, stage, and lighting services.
To end the news, the headlines once again. The Discover Dominica Authority projects a stronger growth in 2023 following increase in tourist arrival numbers for 2022. Residents of the Southeast get further reassurance on relocation efforts. And the traditional Omas Festival kicks off in a different format this Saturday. Tune in to 107.9, 93.1, 91.1 and 88.7 FM Monday to Friday for our radio newscasts at 6:30 a.m., 1 p.m. and 5:30 p.m. Watch our TV newscasts on Kairi TV on Flow Channel 953 Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. with repeats at 10 p.m. and 8 a.m. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Kairi FM. Check us out on Instagram at Kairi FM and follow us on Twitter at Kairi FM Dominica. Visit and subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch up on any newscasts you may have missed. That's all for today's news. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Vanessa Bruno. Thank you for watching. Have a great weekend.